Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well. It's a beautiful morning here in Glasgow on the Broomalall. Left my house this morning very much last minute, very much sprinting down here, and just made it just in time for what I couldn't see the sun at that point because it was cloudy, but it was officially the sunrise. So I'm gonna have to adjust myself accordingly. So good morning. Hello. So I had a great morning today. I had lots of wishes. I'm getting lots of wishes from lots of different people, which really is inspiring me in my dance. It was a shift because although I've always been very conscious of the fact of the energy that I create in myself when I'm dancing and why I'm doing it, it was a shift to actually be focusing on something in particular, and so some of that involves the music I choose and also just my headspace and how I kind of acknowledge there's a whole, because it is a ritual, there is a whole process of arrival. And we all have rituals. We have rituals coming into our house, you know, where you put your keys and stuff like this, how you get ready for breakfast in the morning, and how we do things. Our lives are full of it. And so this is a more spiritual minded ritual, as it were. And so just been thinking of, you know, how I enter into space and internal space, and it's interesting because it is a dancing prayer, and yet I'm embodying it, and so that's a totally different thing as well, and sending it, becoming a channel, and sending it out, or becoming a focus for something. As I started dancing for gentlemen, I'm going to keep the identities of everyone anonymous unless they say they want me to publish them. So I'll just say a gentleman whose partner has been ill for some time. So I started with that, and I had some really beautiful, they're quite neutral music, and I think that's the other thing that's been really good in terms of at least getting me started, and then move on to other things. And it was extraordinary because I don't know much about his illness, but as I kind of finished that phase of my dancing for him, there were loads of birds swooping overhead, which was unbelievable, you know. So it was kind of like the finality to that dance, and there was something quite magical there, which was really, really beautiful. And people say, you know, oh, how can I see it, or I want, can you record it? And it's just, for me, that's just too much. Before we had this facility for me to be posting things up all the time, things just existed in their moment, and so it's kind of it's witnessed by many people, and so that energy does pass on in ways that are not tangible, which is a big part of what I do. And the clouds have been really quite extraordinary too, and it has been dry. The temperature is really good for dancing, and they've just been doing, just even now, if you look over there and you can see them moving, and the patches of sun and blue, and there's been streams of sunlight coming out at various times. I was doing another dance for another gentleman who asked me to dance for his wee 8-month-old little girl, and so I had the most lovely dance, actually, thinking of her and her wee little spirit there. And as you know, I love kids, and I love their, you know, no filter in regards to expressing themselves. And again, just like at one time, these absolute brilliant streams of sunlight came in during that, which was beautiful. And I danced for another gentleman who has 3 grown daughters. He asked me to dance for them, and I know that he's been having some he wanted me to dance in particular for his connection to them, and so I did, and that I felt there's something very joyful in that. So there's that, and then was there one more, or was that my 3 for the day? They're the 3 I dance for. If I miss any, I write them all down, and so if I did miss anything today, I'll look at my little book, and I'll do it tomorrow. But, so that was my dancing for the day, which was was really, really lovely. And then I finished with the Dixie, a totally different vibe change. I changed to the Dixie Chicks. And some days you gotta dance, and it was just, and that was for all the people in those office blocks over there. I was doing that for them in particular, just letting go and just having a really, really good groove in particular, and just being really, really joyful in my body, and I really, really felt it. So it's a beautiful cycle. I danced today. I felt really quite good about that. So I'll be back here tomorrow. I've had to remind myself that as sunrise is getting 1 minute earlier every day, that maybe I should adjust my alarm as well, because it was cutting it really fine this morning. I was like, I'd really vivid dreams last night, so I woke up feeling quite exhausted in a way, like you do, like emotionally vivid. I went through lots of emotions in my dreams last night, and so woke up like kind of thing, which happens sometimes. So I'll have to be thinking about going to bed earlier and eating better as well. I eat really well, but if I don't eat enough, I'd have trouble getting to sleep at night, and because I'm exhausting a lot of calories at the minute and energy that I need to make sure that I replenish my body with the nutrients that it needs. So I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be back tomorrow. If you have anything you want me to dance for, then just let me know. Thanks, bye.